Hi, Shavua Tov, everybody. As you can see, I'm holding an object, a very paint-oriented object over here, and we're talking all about if someone lends an item to someone else, it's in someone else's possession. Someone has been tasked to look after an object. Maybe he's been paid to look after it. Let's say I pay someone to look after this paint over here, or maybe I give it to someone to look after and I don't pay him. He does it, as they say, for free, bechinam. So let's talk about these different cases here inside this page of the Gemara. We're in 108 of Masechet Bava Kamma. That is naturally page Kuf Chet. At the moment, we're making fantastic progress. And we actually know that according to Torah itself, there are two kinds of shomrim, two kinds of people who agree to watch something for another person over here. There's someone called a shomer chinam, naturally someone who does it as a favor and will not be paid. And naturally there's also a shomer sachar. What is this? Someone who is paid for his time and effort with regards to looking after something. So I could be giving this to someone to look after for free, or someone to look after. I'd have to pay him in order to do this. This is probably quite a cheap item, but let's assume that it's an expensive item. So it's interesting. What is if the item gets stolen by someone else? Like he's got this in his possession and someone steals it for one reason or another, or it gets lost or whatever it is. There's going to be different circumstances. Okay, so in the case of the shomer chinam, which is a case where you're giving it for free to someone to look after, they're not charging you for this over here, he will only pay for the object if he did not watch it properly over here. But if he's under his possession, it's going to get lost or stolen, he will not have to pay. Rather, what's he going to have to do over here? He will simply need to take an oath that he watched the object properly over here. That's a consequence with regards to if it gets lost or stolen naturally, whatever it might be. So seemingly he hasn't got full liability, but he will have to take an oath. And remember, we learned in Parashat Matot in Sefer Bamidbar, to make an oath is not like a small item. It's something that many people didn't want to do. However, the shomer sachar over here, the person where you're paying him, he's getting a salary in order to look after the item. He will have naturally a higher level of responsibility, and he will have to pay for the object, even if it's going to be lost or stolen over here. So there's two different degrees. A shomer chinam, naturally, he's got less responsibility, albeit he might have to take the oath if it gets lost. However, a shomer sachar, once he's getting a salary, has much more consequences over there. And actually we learn in the Mishnah in Masechet Bava Kamma in Daf Nun Hey, page 55, page Lamed Gimel 33b, in the event that a shomer chinam chooses to pay rather than to take an oath that the object was stolen, let's say because he doesn't want to take the oath over here, so he's willing to admit something maybe which he was innocent to, because that's how far he doesn't want to take the oath over here. Should the thief be found, then the shomer chinam, this person that was looking after it for free, will receive a double payment if he was innocent the whole time, since the owner over there has already received payment for the object. So say, for example, we know that there's this scenario where a thief would have to pay double the thing. So over here, if the owner of it, gets the item back over here, the shomer chinam over here, is going to be compensated double. So it wasn't all in vain that he didn't want to take the risk over here. But it's actually interesting. The Gemara actually over here speaks about a case where the shomer chinam first takes an oath that the object had been stolen, and then he pays the owner for it as well. Over here, he's taken an oath that had, and then okay, so that's an interesting case. He takes the oath first that the object had been stolen, and then pays the owner for it as well. He does both. In this case, Rava believes that he will still receive kefel. He'll still receive the double payment over here from the thief when he is found, because he naturally didn't do it. However, there's going to be an argument, and Abai is actually rule this double payment over here should be paid to the owner. It doesn't go and to the shomer chinam. He doesn't get this double luxury of the amount. It will go to the owner, who will then pay the shomer chinam the money he received from him. There's going to be that sort of a transfer over here. And the Tosfot Reed is also going to explain the argument in a different way. This is according to Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz in his insights. When the Shomer Chinam chooses to pay the owner, he is not actually purchasing rights to the object. This is clear since the thief will have to return the object to the original owner if it is still, let's say, extant over here. The owner will then have to return the payment to the Shomer Chinam over here. The reason that the Shomer Chinam receives kevel, a double payment over here, that actually is a concession made to him because by agreeing to pay, he freed the owner from a protracted court case investigating the circumstances of the disappearance of the object. So in this specific case over here, even though the Shomer Chinam, the person that's looking after it for free, eventually agreed to pay for it, that was only after the court case actually took place. Thus, there is a room for Abaya and Rabba, these two great Rabbanim, to disagree about who deserves to receive the kefel. So very, very interesting. The moral lesson about is, if you're going to look after something for free, do the chesed properly. Take all precautions that you can do, because you don't want to end up being put on the spot to take an oath or other dramatic circumstances. These are the last things that any of us will need. And, it's easy. Some people can be negligent with all these things and say, oh, who cares about all these things, whatever it might be. And that's the worst, that naturally is a worst kind of attitude to have. If someone puts something in your possession, you've got a huge obligation to look after the item properly, whether you're getting paid for it or not. And remember, by looking after someone else's object for free even, think of the reward you get, the mitzvah someone gets with regards to this, because the mitzvah is absolutely infinite, and to actually look after something, to do chesed, to do work, sometimes it's the greatest form of mitzvah. So I'd like to actually dedicate this to Bluma Bela Bat Pesach to make a full recovery. Please say Tehillim for her also, and also for another special Yisrael Ben Tamar also for a full refuah shlema. I'm wishing you all a Shavuot Tov U'Mevorach. And Be'ez Hashem, we're going to see all good things here coming from Israel, Be'ezrat Hashem, and Besorah Tovot. I hope you all had an awesome Shabbat, and please keep watching the previous videos. This is already the 101st video 107th video in Masechet Bava Kamma, and Shabbat Tov. Take care.